Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Razovy, and today I want to talk about the Hinamatsuri Manga. Now, this is absolutely a very funny manga. It's an amazing manga. I love this manga to death. I'm currently reading it. I already watched the anime like 3 years ago, and it left such an impression on me that for some reason, like a couple of days ago, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just pick up the manga and read the entire thing. I'm gonna read at least one volume every single day, which I have done so far. And I'm just planning on continuing this until I have, in fact, read all of the 19 volumes. By the way, it's a finished manga, so you don't have to worry about waiting for new chapters or something. No, it's just finished 19 volumes. You can read it on Touch.me or whatever, you can also get the physical volumes if you'd like. It's just a very cool manga, and I highly advise you that if you haven't read or watched Hinamatsuri yet, then go do so, really. Basically, it's about, we have two main characters, although there are many characters in this manga, and frankly, they're all awesome. I guess we have two main characters, Hina and Nita. Now, Nita is basically a Yakuza member. He is a dangerous fella, or at least he used to be, and he works for the mafia, he works for the Yakuza, right? And at some point, he finds this girl, Hina, and they start living together. He starts taking care of her as if she is his daughter. But the interesting thing is that Hina has very special powers. She has these psychic powers, basically. And the funny part is that even though she has these powers, the story doesn't really revolve around it. It's actually, basically, it's like a slice of life type of story, heavily focused on comedy with some psychic stuff mixed in that makes for even more funny scenes in the process. It's very, very good. And I think that besides these two, all the other characters are awesome too. Frankly, my favorite character is Hitomi, and Hitomi is actually, she can't say no to people. So basically, at a very young age, she now works at a bar as a bartender, even though she's in middle school. She, at some point, gets tons of different job offers because she works in a bar and therefore, meets new people, and she gets new job offers. And then at some point, she starts earning crazy amounts of money because she has so many jobs, right? But she's miserable. She doesn't like it. But she even starts living on her own, at a middle school age, right? And she's basically my favorite character, and I think that her character trope is very funny. The fact that she can't say no, and that she basically succeeds because she's such a hard worker. It's very funny and sometimes even very wholesome, I dare to argue. But it's not just her. There are many more characters. Anzu is also like the character arc of Anzu is also amazing. Basically, she also has these powers just like Hina does, but Anzu decides not to use them. In fact, because she doesn't use them and because she doesn't understand how the world works, she basically becomes homeless, and the homeless people start to take care of her. So all of her life lessons, she's now learning from homeless people. And eventually, without spoiling anything, she will be taken care of by new people that actually have a home. I won't spoil like how that happens or why, and then she has to relearn so many things because now she has to shift from being homeless to having a home and to becoming more like a normal girl. It's a very interesting story, and the fun part is that even though this manga and also this anime relies so heavily on comedy, the drama that does sometimes appear in the story is very good. It's amazing, in fact. For something that is so funny, the dramatic moments are really dramatic and really good. So it's, they always say that a slice of life story, the characters have to be good, right? That's what they say. If it's not for the characters, the slice of life story doesn't really matter. And in this case, that is definitely the truth. Hinamatsuri is as good as it is because basically every single character that is presented in this story, whether it's in the anime or the manga, is just good. They're well written. They have, they have backstories. They interact well with each other. It feels like you're looking and reading pages of stories of real people, and that is important for a slice of life story. Sure, sometimes it's purely comedy, and that's also good. Like when it's pure comedy, it's fun. It's very funny. It makes me laugh out loud. It's good. But I think that the mix of comedy, slice of life, and drama that this manga and anime offers is something that we don't see a lot. It makes this story special, really. And even if you just like the comedy parts, fair enough, then this manga is for you. Even if you only like the drama stuff, fair enough, then this manga is also for you. It has something for a big group of people, even though it is also able to niche down into something that even small niches of people can appreciate. And I like that. It's special in that sense. And the way that it also portrays children, middle schoolers, and the way that it portrays adults is real. It feels real. It's not like how in many manga, children are able to do so many things, and it feels unreal. You know what I mean? You can clearly see that it's not presented in a real fashion. But in Hinamatsuri's story, you can see that children act like children. Grown-ups act like adults with flaws, of course. It's a very interesting way of looking at the world through realistic glasses instead of I guess most manga just don't really have a realistic sense, and that's also why manga is so cool, because it doesn't have to be. But being able to tell a story that has both a realistic sense but also amazing realistic characters and it can still be funny even though it's close to realism, not always of course, but it's quite close to realism, that makes it cool. And sure, we have psychic stuff that's not realistic at all, and sure, it relies heavily on comedy, which makes some characters kind of tropey, of course, but that's okay. That's why it's a manga, that's why it's a comic, right, and an anime, so that's okay. But I do really, really enjoy this manga, and I'm currently reading it. I'm currently at volume 7, I believe, 7 or 8, no, 7. And I just really, if you sure, if you're anime only, or if you prefer anime over manga, then sure, watch the anime. It'll give you a very good sense of the story. It won't give you a completed story, but it will be fun and it will be enjoyable. But I think that if you do like manga, then I would just pick up the manga. Go do that. It's worth it. It's 100% worth it. And I'm actually looking forward to reading more of this tonight, because I'm genuinely looking forward to every evening being able to read a volume of this. That's not something that I have often, so that says something about how much I actually enjoy this series. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just curious, have you read or watched Hinamatsuri? If you have, or if you haven't, make sure to comment that in the comment section down below. If you haven't liked this video yet, make sure to click on the like button. It helps me out tremendously. And frankly, if you do like this kind of content, then subscribe, I guess. It might help you out seeing more of my videos, I guess. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I was Razovy, and I want to thank you for watching. So, thank you very much. I will see you guys later.